What up, world? It's Dez here, aka Karmicdez 85 on the YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, social medias. Doing a little quick live here. I know we've been gone for a minute. Podcasts are still going, still moving, just working on a few other projects in the meantime, and of course with the job, it limits my time to dedicate to all my projects. So, in regards to the projects, we are working on a movie called The Encounter. We've started, the script is done, cast is ready. We're going to be starting filming here probably in the next week or so. For that, got a short film I'm going to be doing as well. I'm going to try to get that film by the end of the week. Both will be on YouTube. The movie, The Encounter, is going to be on YouTube for a limited time. Then we'll move it to Patreon. So we'll set up a Patreon for that. So your return viewers, repeat reviewers of the movie and whatnot can view it at their leisure with the Patreon membership. What's up, Rob? What's up, Mike? Just doing a little quick vid right now. So what is the damn title I put? Fucking tough questions. That's right. So I titled it that because I pulled up some more Kamala interviews last night and this morning before I went to sleep. And the first one I saw was actually a body language expert breaking down the MSN. Was it MSNBC the 60 Minutes interview, breaking down that interview. And there was one particular question she was asked where you could tell she got stuck. And it was in regards to, actually there's a few of them. The two that stood out to me were the questions regarding Israel. And she was asked, does she feel Ben Netanyahu is doing whatever the hell he wants to do or not? And basically she was like, well, there's things going on in that area. There's things that they would like to go on in that area. And there are things that are really going on in that area. So she never really answered whether he is our ally, whether he's taking into consideration what the American administration wants in regards to what's going on in the Middle East as well. So I'm not liking her response there. Nor am I liking her response on the economy. When asked about the economy, she said that she has, of course, the $25,000 for first-time home buyers, $6,000 tax credit, or child tax credit, $25,000, I believe, is again for first-time business owners. So the moderator or the interviewer was like, that's all fine and dandy, but how do you actually plan on paying for these things? So she went into this spiel about how her plan is better for the country as opposed to Trump's plan, and that it's not as expensive as Trump's plan. And what the interviewer was saying is like, yeah, basically that's all fine and dandy. None of that is what he was asking. What he was asking was, how does she plan on paying for it? She never got around to answering how she would plan on paying for it. And I like his response to that, his pushback. He asked her, he told her, well, we live in reality. Reality is you've got to push these things through Congress. So how do you plan on getting these things pushed through Congress? Stuck her right there. She had no answer. And there was another video I saw of her. She was watching the teleprompter at one of the rallies, I want to say it was like a week ago. And I guess she was doing good, doing her normal spiel, whatever. And I guess the teleprompter went off and she started to ask a question about Magic Johnson. And so she asked the crowd, y'all know who Magic Johnson is? Everybody's, yeah, ooh, Magic Johnson. And then she's like, y'all know his number is 32, right? And everybody's like, yeah, crowd response. And then she's like, we got 32 more days until election day. And at that moment, you could tell that something went wrong. I'm not sure if the prompter went out, but for all appearances, it looks like the prompter went out. So she's standing there and she makes this face, this hesitant face, kind of like, ooh, don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to say here. So she's just repeating the number 32, right? 32. So what I'm saying is she can't even ad-lib her own policies and thoughts about what's going on. These are the things that people were like, oh, you just hating on Kamala, or you're a Trump fan, or you're a Trump supporter. Like, no, I'm just looking objectively at the two opponents. We have one opponent, may say some crazy off-the-cuff shit, but he can improvise. Then we have another opponent who I'm not sure if she's trying not to say anything crazy, but she can't improvise either. She can't even improvise a simple statement, to rally or to specify her policies to become president. So these are things I look at that are just really not liking it, right? Then we're too close to election time for these gaffes to be happening. You think by now you'd be somewhat polished. I know she was our nominee late, but I feel like there should be some polishing here, even without the teleprompters and the scripting. Y'all give me a second here. I got to finish putting my order in. All right, yeah, I'm back. All right, so I just had to put my damn order in. The other thing I wanted to bring up, too, is I watch Candace Owens. I know a lot of our people don't really watch Candace Owens, black people. But I watch Candace Owens because she provides another perspective. And I'm a guy that likes different perspectives. That way I can take in and disseminate, the information and figure out things for myself. Plus, it also helps you get to, the truth easier. What's that? The phrase you say, you don't know. It's the phrase like being up close to an elephant, you can't tell if it's an elephant until you back out. So that's the kind of guy I am right there. So, one of the things, the episode that she did yesterday, she had on a guy, I can't remember his name, but I don't know, that he's been researching into the incident that happened with the flight Malaysia 307 in 2014. I don't know if y'all remember that. But the flight mysteriously disappeared with very little debris or really anything to help us figure out what happened during that flight. So the guy was able to get satellite videos of that flight and was able to show us what happened. Apparently these are leaked videos to him. I'm going to try to get clips of the videos and put them into the group later on. But you see from the satellite view, you see the plane, right? It will appear very white, but that's just because the sunlight reflecting off the plane itself. But as it turns, you'll start to see these three orbs start to orbit the plane's hull and cabin area. And as the plane starts to go through the cloud cover, the orbs continue to circle, seems like faster until they converge on the plane, and then poof, plane is gone. For sci-fi fans, sci-fi movie watchers, it looks familiar, like some Stargate stuff, or if you remember the movie Event Horizon, something similar to that. And they kind of tied this into our children's education and the math and the sciences and technology. So much of science right now is being questioned that when we do run into advanced science, will we...
Hey, Desmond?
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. There you go. You have a nice day.
Thank you. All right, so will we be able to accept the science and not believe it's like magic and that we can't do these things, or will we acknowledge that it's actual science and that we've learned how to do these things? So that's the underlying theme of that episode. So with that being said, there is work being done on warp drive technology. I do know that they've been talking about that for years. As far as there being any warp drive technology that is working, I'm not sure. I haven't seen anything. I even went on last night to see if there's anything like a prototype of the technology that works. We have established that we can do it on small scale, but as to the scaling of an airplane, a jetliner for that matter, again, I haven't seen anything. But when you see the video, you'll definitely see what looks to be the warp technology, the warp drive technology. The orbs, what the orbs are supposed to do is the orbs are supposed to actually energize the space around whatever you're going to warp, right? And as it energizes the space, it makes space more malleable. Because for those who don't know, space is basically like a piece of fabric, a sheet of paper. It's malleable. It can fold, it can bend, it can break, it can rip, it can tear, it can do anything paper can do, right? As far as our experiments show. So when you fill this space with energy, you're causing space to now, well, not just space, because time goes to space. You're causing space and time to become malleable, bend, break, rip, tear, whatever. So as the energy level in this area becomes large enough, again, it does create rips, holes, vortexes. And you'll see in the video that there's definitely something that's been done. I can't say whether it's a rip, a hole, vortex, what. But the plane itself as a whole disappears. They have this in satellite view of visible light. They also have the X-ray view, infrared view. So we see the plane disappear on two different visual spectrums. Some will say if this is a hoax, then we'd see inconsistencies in the visual spectrums, which we don't see. So I think it's crazy that if this is true, that we can do this. If it also brings credence to things such as Billy Carson, who has theorized that our government, our shadow government, have been space traveling, dealing with aliens, going to these other planets, these other systems, using this technology. And if that's the case, again, that's freaking crazy. But again, short episode. I'm going to upload those videos later on. I'm pretty sure for those who still come to the page and keep track of the podcast, you see all of our reference material posted. A lot of the videos that I watch on YouTube as well for my material are posted in the group page. You can track the same information that I'm tracking. And if you want to do your own research, you can do your own research. That way you can follow my sources or our sources as well. You can also share your sources in your research, as we do a lot. There's a few guys, Brendan, Aaron, and a new guy, I want to say his name is Edward Spencer, I believe. We've all been kind of having conversations back and forth about different topics in the group. So definitely, if you want to do that, get feedback on just a thought that you have, we do that there too. But again, I'm going to go ahead and finish my break. I'm going to go ahead and eat my food. You guys be good, be safe, dominate your day. We will be continuing the podcast. It is not dead. It is not dying. We're working on projects. Other than that, again, dominate your day. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.